The world is mourning the loss of Jimmy Cliff, the Jamaican reggae icon whose music shaped generations and carried the heartbeat of his nation across continents. Today, we bring you the latest on what is known so far regarding his funeral, as well as the emotional reaction from his daughter that has stunned fans everywhere. Jimmy Cliff passed away at the age of 81, leaving behind a legacy that changed global music forever. His death was confirmed on November 24th after a seizure followed by pneumonia. Tributes have poured in from across the world, yet none have made as much impact as the heartbreaking message shared by his daughter, a message that has shaken millions. Jimmy Cliff was born in 1944 and became one of the most influential figures in reggae, ska, and rocksteady. His rise began in the late 1960s, when his music started gaining attention locally in Jamaica before spreading internationally. His songs were not only celebrated for their sound, but also for their message. Through tracks like Vietnam, Many Rivers to Cross, and Wonderful World, Beautiful People, he built a reputation as an artist who stood for truth, justice, and unity. His breakout moment came with the groundbreaking 1972 film The Harder They Come. The movie, along with its soundtrack, introduced global audiences to the power of Jamaican storytelling and the depth of reggae music. It was a cultural earthquake that pushed Jamaican cinema and music into the international spotlight. Despite his superstar status, Jimmy Cliff lived a surprisingly quiet and private life away from the cameras. His family describes him as gentle, thoughtful, and deeply spiritual. He was married to Latifah Chambers, with whom he had 2 children, Aiken and Lilty. He also had an older daughter, the Brazilian-Jamaican actress and singer Nabia Bey, from a previous relationship. Over the years, Cliff rarely spoke about his personal life, choosing instead to let his music define him. Yet those close to him consistently described him as a loving father, a devoted husband, and a man who valued peace and privacy above all else. When news of his death surfaced, the entertainment world reacted instantly. Fellow reggae legends, Hollywood icons, international media outlets, and political leaders all released statements honoring his legacy. They celebrated his contributions not only to music, but to culture, representation, and global unity. But among all these tributes, one stood out above the rest. It did not come from a celebrity. It did not come from a world leader. It came from his daughter. Her reaction became the most talked-about moment following his passing. At first, she remained silent. Hours passed, then a full day. The world waited for her to speak, but her silence made fans worry that she was too overwhelmed with grief to respond. Finally, she posted her tribute. It was not a long letter. It was not a media statement. Instead, she shared a simple childhood photo of herself standing beside her father on a beach in Jamaica, holding his hand. Underneath, she wrote 3 words: "I wasn't ready." Those 3 words swept across social media like wildfire. No analysis was needed, no explanation was required. The rawness of her message captured what millions felt. Those who loved his music understood the pain. Those who had lost a parent recognized the depth of the sentence, and those who had never met him still felt the emotional blow. Her message became the most widely shared tribute connected to Jimmy Cliff's passing, and fans around the world described it as one of the most emotional reactions to a celebrity loss in recent years. Jimmy Cliff's wife, Latifah, released the family's official statement confirming his death. In her message, she thanked fans for their love and support, expressing that Jimmy always appreciated the encouragement he received throughout his long career. She wrote that he rested peacefully and that the family hoped for privacy during this difficult time. Her tone reflected both grief and dignity. She also noted that she would honor her husband's wishes, though she did not reveal what those wishes were. This has led many to believe that Jimmy may have left specific instructions for how his funeral should be handled. As of now, and this remains important to report accurately, the funeral details have not yet been officially announced. Although today's coverage focuses on the funeral, the family has not released the date, location, or structure of the ceremony. This delay is not unusual for a figure of his cultural magnitude. There are several likely reasons for this. The family is grieving privately and needs time before making public decisions. Relatives may be traveling from multiple countries, including Brazil, Jamaica, and the United States. The Jamaican government could be preparing official honors or planning a state-supported memorial service, given Jimmy Cliff's immense cultural influence. Above all, the family is prioritizing privacy and emotional space as they navigate this loss. Once the funeral arrangements are confirmed, updates will be provided immediately. Fans are urged to remain patient and respectful as the family moves through their difficult mourning period. While the world waits, many continue to reflect on Jimmy Cliff's monumental career. His music has been part of global history for decades. After The Harder They Come, he went on to act in the 1986 comedy film Club Paradise and contributed music to major Hollywood productions, including Cocktail in 1988 and Cool Runnings in 1993. His version of I Can See Clearly Now, recorded for Cool Runnings, became his most commercially successful single and earned him worldwide recognition beyond the reggae scene. In 2010, he was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and he was awarded the Jamaican Order of Merit, one of the nation's highest honors. Even with all these achievements, Jimmy Cliff never lost his humility. He spoke often about using music to spread love and awareness. Fans admired him not only for his talent, but for his principles. In the days following his death, radio stations around the world organized tribute hours dedicated to his greatest hits. Street performers played his songs in major cities. Reggae bars in Kingston, London, Tokyo, and São Paulo held impromptu gatherings to celebrate his legacy. His influence stretched across generations. Older fans remembered him as a pioneer. Younger listeners discovered his music through film soundtracks and digital playlists. His reach was universal and timeless. The emotional weight of his daughter's message, however, remains at the center of public conversation. Her simple statement created one of those rare cultural moments when a personal expression becomes shared grief. Her tribute became symbolic of how the world felt. It spoke for millions who were not ready to say goodbye, and it reminded everyone that behind the global icon was a father who left behind people who loved him deeply. Even with the delay in funeral arrangements, discussions have already begun about how the world might honor him. Some expect a large public memorial in Jamaica. Others anticipate tribute concerts, musical celebrations, and international gatherings. There is speculation that major reggae artists will perform in his honor, possibly as part of an official state ceremony. Supporters in Brazil, the United States, and Europe have also expressed interest in organizing their own tribute events. While nothing is confirmed, the scale of global reaction suggests that Jimmy Cliff's farewell may become one of the most significant cultural memorials of recent years. As the world reflects on his life, fans and artists continue to share their stories of how his music changed them. Some speak of how his songs gave them courage during hard times. Others talk about discovering his voice when they were young and how it shaped their understanding of reggae. Many highlight how his music promoted unity, peace, and cultural pride. His impact was not limited to entertainment. It touched identity itself. Jimmy Cliff once said in an interview that music was a bridge between people. Today, that bridge is seen more clearly than ever. His passing marks the end of a remarkable chapter in music history, but his legacy will continue to live through his recordings, his films, and the generations of artists he inspired. Fans all over the world are revisiting his work, not only to mourn, but to celebrate the joy he brought to millions. His voice remains powerful, his influence remains deep, his message remains alive. The world waits for the moment when his funeral details are revealed. Until then, tributes continue, memories continue, and the echo of his music continues to resonate across nations. Jimmy Cliff may no longer be here, but his voice, his spirit, and his incredible cultural contribution will never fade. His daughter's words captured the emotional truth of this moment. The world was not ready, and perhaps it never could be.